G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. So, over the last few days, Kevin Dotson has made a few comments. And today, I want to ask the question: did Kevin Dotson lose the fan base overnight? Now, I'm scrolling around Twitter, as I normally do, YouTube, Facebook, all those social media platforms that we connect via our Steelers. Now, I did see this quote that was via SteelerNation.com. I believe he was on a podcast called the Three Stance Podcast with Caleb and D Gray, who used to play for the Steelers, right? So he was on there, Kevin Dotson, and he talked about Jones and the left tackle position. Now, ever since the draft, Steeler fans out there are saying, will Dan Moore start or will Broderick Jones start? In my opinion, I've said it many times, I actually think that Dan Moore will start. And then over the course of the season, if Jones is ready, I think he will play in place of Dan Moore. But week one, I have Dan Moore, Siamalo, Cole, Daniels, and Chooks. Now, in this podcast, and I will refer back to this image a few times, in this podcast, Kevin Dotson said this: I think this year, most likely, Jones won't play. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm thinking they're just thinking about the future. If he plays this year, he's going to be tackle, Dotson said. Chooks might be one of the most slept on players in the league. Now, he's referring to, if he does play tackle, he could probably take, Dan Moore's job on the left-hand side, or possibly, if he goes left-hand side, then Dan Moore might play right-hand side, which has been reported too. So it's a bit of a shake-up. Now, with this first comment, I'll be very honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. He's not putting shade on Jones. And first of all, Broderick Jones, is a rookie, right? And I guess that Kevin Dotson has a bit more veteran presence. That, to me, is not really a bad comment. I don't see how we can go out there and say, trade, cut, this, blah, blah, blah. Don't really see it. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think, though. I'm kind of okay with that. He's pretty much just saying that he's sticking up for Dan Moore, saying he's going all right, and also sticking up for Chooks on the other side. And we don't know if they're going to play Jones at left tackle or if he's even going to start. We just don't know that yet. Now, there were a few other comments I want to get into in terms of Kevin Dotson's position, right? He has been playing left guard since he's been drafted, pretty much. Now, he had this to say in another interview during the week. He says this: there's nothing I can do about it, right? Dotson said, I have to go as hard as I can go. Hope something happens here or in the future. It's part of the game. Now, there's one thing as well I find with a lot of these interviews, that with these players sometimes, some fans out there were annoyed if they don't say anything. And then sometimes we're annoyed if they say too much. In terms of this comment, look, maybe it's not the fiery stuff we want where he talks about Kevin Dotson competing with Siamalo, going head-to-head, and may the best man win. It's not that theme. The theme is pretty much saying, well, they went and acquired Siamalo in a 3-year contract, and maybe my role now is to play backup. A bit like Trubisky. Trubisky knew once Kenny Pickett was there for number one that he's now settled back into the backup role. And I kind of see the same thing with Kevin Dotson. There's nothing I can do about it. I just have to go in as hard as I can and hope something happens here or in the future as part of the game. That's right. It's part of business. And they went out and got Siamalo 3-year contract. Now, he does expand on this answer. Dotson says this: once you pay somebody, it's set in stone regardless. It's kind of true. You give a 3-year contract to Siamalo, give him all the money. It's pretty much expected that Siamalo is going to start at left guard, which is Dotson is talking about. And also, in that same line of thought, I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. So, but I check Twitter and I see not hate, but I just see a bit of negativity, or Dotson did this, or Dotson needs to be cut, or can we trade Dotson, or he's not all in. He's all in. He's just seeing, in my opinion, what is happening right in front of him, and they brought in another left guard. I think as fans, we're just not really, we want him to be fired up, to be like, yeah, head to head. and it's not happening, but I'm still okay with it, right? It goes on to say, the only thing I can do is control what I can control. Dotson said, I'll go out there and work hard, and when the opportunity comes, I'll be ready. That's all I can do at this point. And that's a good way to finish this part is all he can do is control what he can control. Can't control who the coaches pick at left guard. Go out there, work as hard as he can, and see what happens. But I think we know as Steeler fans, we all kind of know that Marlowe is going to take over at left guard. Daniels at right guard, as I said. Mason Cole in the center. Chooks right tackle. And I think Dan Moore's going to play left tackle, but I could be wrong, right? But however, to end this video on the Kevin Dotson saga, and like I said, did Kevin Dotson lose the fan base overnight? Because this came out a few days ago as well. It says apparently Kevin Dotson was benched during a drill in OTAs for a false start, and Coach Tomlin told him to get his head out of his you-know-what and sat him. And all these things together, from saying that Jones won't start for the year, then conceding defeat at left guard and saying, you know what, it's not in my control. I don't know. I'm going to go out there and work hard, but it's pretty much Marlowe's job. To the last comment being, or the last comment on him on the OTAs, false start. It doesn't look good. It honestly doesn't look very good. But I'll tell you what, I'm kind of okay with it. Every single scenario, from this one from the podcast, on the Three Stands podcast, to the other day with the interview about him not controlling, only control what he can control, and then him stuffing up in practice for a false start. It happens. First of all, it's practice. It happens. And I'm going to say this. If the Steelers were to cut or trade, get rid of Dotson, first of all, what will we get back for Dotson? I don't know what we'll get back if he's even that high of a value. But for me, there's no real point cutting someone who knows the offense, who's been playing left guard like pretty much all year last year, and can be a starter in this league. To me, it makes no sense cutting him there, because if an injury happens, you have someone back up who can start. So I don't know. But let me know, guys, in the comments below what you think. I kind of think this stuff has been overhyped, over-dramatized. Don't think it really matters what he did say. But if you give him anything, Kevin Dotson was just being honest. Just being honest, right? He says, you know what? There's nothing I can do about it. He's just being honest and saying what he said. Should he said it? Don't know. I actually have nothing wrong with it, to be honest. But I see it where he's going to play backup, and if Marlowe goes down, you're going to have a guy who can start and play that position pretty well. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Enjoy the rest of your night. Hooroo.